Damps.
What's poppin', guys? Today we're going to talk about how to choose the right hair system for you. A lot of people will be online, they'll be shopping for a hair unit, hair system, and you'll not know, is it going to look real, is it going to look fake? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how to make it look real 100% of the time. When you choose the right type of hair and the right style, it looks flawless. I'm going to explain to you guys how to get flawless results. First, I'm going to let just an advisory. I'm wearing these glasses because this light is extremely bright. I'm not trying to be blind after making this video. There's two different types of units. There's stock and then there's custom. Stock is the average hair system, what the manufacturer is assuming that the market wants. A stock room full of the exact same thickness, color, textures, and they'll have just a stock room full of that. Now that's typically, if you guys go on Alibaba, if you guys go on any website and you can get a hair unit, like order it and it's shipped out to you the next day, it's always stock. It's always stock. Now custom, a little different, and this is what I recommend for everybody actually, because everybody's a little bit different. Custom is a personalized hair unit that's made to your exact specifications. So what does that mean? That means I'm gonna look at the density of your hair, the color of your hair, the texture of your hair, the style that you want, and your head shape. I'm gonna take note of all of that, and I'm gonna design you something completely personalized to your exact needs. First thing we're gonna dive into is density. Now, a lot of times we'll lose some hair on top of our head, and this area is relatively thin. So the density we have to match to is the sides of your head. Density refers to the amount of hairs or the amount of space in between each hair. I'm talking more so in terms of when the light's reflecting off, look, when the light's reflecting off my head, where do you see space in between my head, in between my hairs? If you see my scalp on the sides, for example, then you need to be able to see my scalp on the top, and it has to reflect that. So a lot of times the trap that people fall into is they'll buy a stock hair unit and the top of their head suddenly becomes thicker than the sides, which is not realistic. In certain cases, especially for Afro hair, the least amount of thickness that they offer for Afro hair that you can find is still too thick for somebody who needs to fill in the top of their head. It's not as realistic. So the trap that you don't realize is that it's harder to control a thicker hair unit in terms of styling it. What I always recommend, and this is why consultation is extremely important, you have to make sure that whatever density you have on the sides and the back of your head, the top needs to match it. And if not match, it has to be just a tinsy bit less. Because you'll never meet somebody who has thicker hair on the top of their head than they do on the sides and the back. It's just not realistic. Solution to that, custom. You guys can book a consultation with me to get a custom hair system hair unit. Link in the bio, link in the description, okay? This is the reason I'm giving you this, because I see people walking outside with what looks like carpets on their head. Nobody should ever know that you have a hair system. Not because you don't tell them, but because it never does look like a hair unit. The best hair units, great hair units, somebody could walk into this room, I won't be able to tell that it's a hair unit. And I have results that say that. I have results that say that. The next thing we gotta look at is color. This is relatively simple. And with experience, I've been able to develop this skill where I can look at a picture and I can design a unit that matches that picture. Just like this. I just did this yesterday actually. And he had quite a few grays on the side. He was fine with me just getting him a black hair unit, but I'm like, you won't age well into a black hair unit. You're gonna have to continue to dye your hair. It's gonna be challenging. It's gonna take a lot of practice, a lot of extra effort. Let's just get you something that you can grow well into. A style, not only in terms of the haircut, but also in terms of how real it looks. So I designed this hair unit for him that had speckles of grays, just enough to match the sides to the top to his beard. Next thing is texture. Now, with Afro hair, again, because this is relatively newer in the Afro market, people are putting Afro hair into like a category of 3 to 4 curl patterns, which it is not, okay? But people are usually getting the same. If you say Afro hair unit, especially at one of these bigger chain hair system places that doesn't work with Afro hair too much, people will send you what Afro hair is. But Afro hair really is a bunch of different curl patterns. You know, you have straight hair, and then once you leave straight, the spectrum is insane between the tightest curl and the straightest or the loosest curl. So matching that, again, is something that we can do. We can set up a consultation with, and I can help you get the right hair system, hair unit, and we can match it to your exact curl pattern. But be mindful. Again, the benefit to having a custom hair unit is we can customize the curl pattern to your exact curl pattern. Versus the stock is you're gonna get something that's already been pre-curled and sent over to you. Sometimes it's just a knowledge thing. It really is a knowledge thing. And if you could get the right hair system off the rip from the beginning, it will change your whole experience with them. Because again, it's not something where people are supposed to even consider that you're wearing a hair system. It just looks great and it just looks real. If you want the perfect style, there is nothing better than a hair kit or hair unit, a hair system. Nothing comes close, nothing. And that's because all of this can be designed and customized to your exact needs. Now the problems that, or the reason this gets a bad rap is because so many people and professionals choose the wrong product for the client. Get a consultation and you design something specifically for you. It's much better to go down this route than to go down the route of just guessing what product is best for you. And that's a lot of times what people do. You know, I see people all the time where they'll have the texture on top doesn't match the texture on the sides, or the thickness on top doesn't match the lack of thickness on the sides. So how do you avoid these things? You book a consultation with me down below in the description. Seriously, I'm dead serious. If I send you something that's exactly for you, you can take that and just go to a barbershop and get a barber to do it for you, or a hairstylist or a hairdresser. When it comes to a hair unit or a hair system or a hair kit, it's a one-of-one. It's a crazy, amazing experience, but you gotta get that done the right way. What I'm doing with these hair units is giving you the opportunity, essentially, to pick any style you ever wanted.
Damps.